week, our theme stemmed kind of from a very interesting discussion that we were having on the Facebook about education systems. The Alberta education system is kind of a unique one. We actually have kind of like three different sectors. We have the public education system, we have a public Catholic system, and we have a private system. The public and private are kind of, normal, but the public Catholic one is kind of different. It's the same sort of idea as in Ontario. It's a publicly funded school, but it's a Catholic school. It's actually the school system that I went to because I'm a Catholic. What that means, essentially, is that, you have religion class and you talk about religious stuff. I really liked it. Look, the fact that it's a public Catholic system means that they can't be, restrictive about who they accept. What seems to be interesting that Sarah mentioned been abolished in lots of provinces. And what I thought was interesting is that in Alberta, lots of them are newer. Like the school system that I went to was established in the 90s. In terms of education itself, we have preschool, kindergarten, and then grade 1 to 12. One thing that I thought was interesting that Lauren was saying how high school is 4 years or 5 years. Ours is 3 years. Some towns where they just have an elementary and a high school, it's only 4 years, but lots of towns and cities have junior highs. So we kind of split it up, like 1 to 6 is elementary, and then 7 to 9 is junior high, and 10 to 12 is high school. So this lines up with PATs, which I will be talking about soon. We need 100 credits to graduate. For us, you have your 5 credit courses and your 3 credit courses. And you have a class every day. For 1 semester, that's 5 credits. And if you have it every other day, for half a semester, it's 3 credits. Okay. And then within that, there's some very specific requirements for what those credits have to be to get your diploma. And time travel. About to go into a rage about our standardized testing. 3, 2, 1, commence rage! Alberta has standardized testing in 4 times, then in grade 3, 6, and 9, which is called your PATs, or Provincial Achievement Test, and then in grade 12 you have diplomas. You have these standardized tests, either PATs or diplomas, for all of your core subjects, so you don't have them for band or something, but you have them for all of your sciences, maths, all that stuff, for all of that. Now, the thing that really gets me annoyed about diplomas is A, they are worth 50% of your mark. It is appraised that the government aims for an average of 65%. So diplomas do have some pluses. The good thing is that they keep grade inflation in check in Alberta, and another good thing that the University of Saskatchewan has discovered is that Alberta students, at least at the university there, overall their average dropped less from high school to university than any of the other provinces. It kind of prepares people in that respect for university. But the whole grade inflation thing is kind of it's good but bad. So in 2007, less than 20% of Albertans graduated high school with an A grade as their average, and more than 60% of Ontarians graduated with an A average. So yeah, I don't know, just to me it seems strange that a 15-year-old Albertan can score higher on international tests than the rest of the country, and then less of them will graduate with an A average. That's clearly telling you something, and I just think that if you're going to do standardized testing, it's good to stop grade inflation. They're stressful, and I think it's stupid it's worth 50%, but I think a standardized final exam is a good idea, maybe worth 20% or 25%. But I think if they're going to do that, it needs to be something that's all across Canada, so that when you're competing for universities, you can get in. So there's this guy, David Seneker, who's been studying this. I'll link a video of him talking all about it in greater detail in the doobly-doo. So JC, to answer your question, I think fandoms aren't really a guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure would be frozen yogurt, because I'm obsessed. And Sarah, I'm sorry to say, we have pre-kindergarten too.